So good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I like to call it Monday. I like to start my mornings and my days off, particularly my week, thinking about what I'm thinking about. And would like to ask you, do you start your day thinking about what you're thinking about? What are the first things that come into your mind, into your heart, first thing in the morning? Where does your mind go? What do you do with your time first thing in the morning? Are you just jumping out of bed and you're in such a haste that you're moving faster than your mind can keep up with? So therefore your mind is moving fast because you're focused on the fact that you could be running late, and so you need to hurry up and get things done. Or do you take time? Do you have time to start your morning with mental refresh, particularly on Mondays coming off the weekend? Do you give yourself time to connect fully to you in the morning? Do you have time to breathe, connect to breath, and just get centered about who you are? So I just have a message where I feel like someone needs to hear that they are special. So this t-shirt that I'm wearing, this shirt, it says, you can't see it on Facebook. It says unicorns are real. And I remember I bought this t-shirt or this shirt when I was in China. I remember seeing it and it spoke so clearly to my heart. And people would always, whenever I would wear this t-shirt, they would always stop me and ask, people who spoke English, obviously, would ask me about that. Like, unicorns are real. Why did you pick that shirt? Because I do believe unicorns are real, but not in the sense of the mystical creature, right? But just in the sense of as human beings that we are all unicorns. Unicorns are special. They're unique. They're different. And I believe in the mystical world of the unicorn, everybody doesn't get to experience the unicorn. And so I've always kind of thought of myself that way, is that I am a little strange. I am a little growing up was considered a little different, and people knew it. However, when you're young and you're strange or you're different, or your vision, your ideas for yourself and about yourself are different, people will criticize you for that. You know, when I was a little girl and said I wanted to see the world, being from a small town in rural North Carolina, people would say, okay, that's cute, but what do you really want to do? Well, I'm thinking, well, that is what I really want. That is what I really want to do. But they couldn't see the unicorn in me. They couldn't see the thing that made me different and special, that I would have those dreams. And so for many of you, you've forgotten that you're unique, that you're special, that God has a special calling on your life, that He wants to do something unique and special in you. And because of life and the way the world is, many of you now don't embrace what makes you unique or special because you've spent years of your life trying to fit in. And perhaps if you're older in life, you know, if you're that sister who's between 35, 45, 55, you may be getting at that point in life where you are exhausted because you recognize that you don't fit in. And you recognize that maybe there's a part of you who feel like you've lost yourself because you have done so much to fit in, to look like others, to assimilate to this world that everyone says you're supposed to be like. Today, I want to invite you back to who God called you to be. I want you to be willing to take time, whether it's today, this afternoon, this evening, today on your lunch break. I want you to take time to reconnect to who was that little girl who believed in dreams, who believed in miracles, who believed without doubt that she was special and unique, who God maybe spoke or poured something into her heart and her mind that the world didn't understand. That thing that maybe your family, your teachers told you, let it go, forget that. You need to be more practical. You need to be more realistic. I don't know why anyone would want to be realistic. Here's why I say that. Most of us today have some form of a smartphone. Imagine what it took for someone to imagine, to think that you can have a telephone after seeing a phone for years, this big bulky thing in a house plugged into walls. And I know that prior to even that, right? But there was this big bulky thing that sometimes it was a dial tone. You had to dial it, you turn the little knob. So then they came up with the punch, where you can punch the buttons and it was a tone. But imagine the person who could think and imagine that there could be a phone without cords that wasn't connected to your house, that you can move around and it would be small. Because remember, the first cell phones were huge and then they had the car phones. Imagine that person being told, be realistic. Be realistic. We wouldn't have half the technology we have today if you had to be realistic. It takes a special mind, someone who has decided that they will not be realistic, that they would dream, and that this dream that they have, they would do all they can to make it come true, regardless of what the naysayers think. That they would be the unicorn, that they would say, you know what, I know this makes no earthly sense to you, but there's this thing inside of me that I have to get out. I want you to get back to that state, to that level of trusting yourself, that this thing that God has placed inside of you, that you are willing to give effort to getting it out, that you're willing to focus and trust the unicorn that is in you, the thing that makes you unique and special. When my children were little, and they would have moments, at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. This is when they still listening to you and they're connected to what you have to say. Well, good morning. She thrives now. Good morning. The kid who, when my son was, I think it was like first grade, he came home. He said, this little girl said he was ugly. And I said, Bryson, God looked around all of the earth. He wanted a you. He wanted a little kid with bright eyes, with kinky hair, with brown skin. He wanted a you. So who are you going to believe? God who created the sun, or this little girl who's done nothing? He's like, well, I'm going to believe God. And so I want to say to you this morning, if you watch this, God looked around all of the earth and he was intentional, and he said, oh my God, I don't have a you. And I want a you, and I want a you with the color skin that you have and the type of eyes that you have and the exact nose that you have. God wanted a you, and he wanted you unique and special, and he made you this unique unicorn, and he gave you dreams and visions and ideas and thoughts and gifts and talents because he wanted a you. He didn't need you to be like other people. He didn't need you to think like other people, to move like other people. He wanted you. And so today I encourage you, I beg you, to embrace the you that he created you to be. And if you've lost that, if you're in the area, or if you're willing to travel, if you've lost that, I want to invite you to come to my awakening retreat. Awakening is all about waking up to who God created you to be. It's about getting back to the mind that he said in the beginning. He created God. He created man in his image. What image have you connected yourself to that isn't the image of God? What has he done in you that society has tried to take from you? Who has hurt you, stained you, damaged you? I call it the bent you away from who God says you are, who he's called you to be, and now you identify, believe, and think yourself to be something else, to be less than, not good enough, not smart enough, not bold enough. These ideas of mine aren't powerful. They're not special. Yes, they are. The reason you think they're not is just because someone, something, life has come and it has tainted the very thing that God has said. You are a unicorn because you are real. And he wants you to get back to that part of you. No longer assimilating, no longer looking like other people, no longer needing to be liked by them, but fully accepted by you so that you can move in the greatness he's created you to be. So if you're interested, I got 3 beds left in this retreat. Just 3. It's happening October the 7th here in North Carolina, in Macon, North Carolina, at Lake Gaston, at a beautiful lake house. You're going to be surrounded by like-minded women where we're all coming to awaken to who God created us to be. So if you want to be there, listen, on Instagram, that is in my link tree and that's in my bio. On Facebook, the link is in the comment area or above the video. Click on it, check it out. Let me know. If you're thinking, I don't know you, I won't travel to come to a retreat, but you're thinking maybe there's something I can learn from this woman, I want you to check out my miracle mindset. It helps you begin to shift back to who God created you to be. It's a 21-day program. You do it at your own leisure. Check that out. You can go now to the website and get that. And now if you want to go bold, if you want to go deep, you can check out my program, The Blueprint to You. My goal is to help you get back to the you that God created you to be. And I know she's in there. I know that your uniqueness is ready to bust forward, that your specialness is ready to shine. And all you need to do is clear out the garbage, the crap, the things that happened to you that you believe created your identity. They didn't create your identity. The bad thing didn't create your identity. You just think that's your identity. God created your identity, and he created it in his image. And when he finished, he said, and it is good. So if there's a part of you who don't think you're good, that's the part that's been tainted by the world. So let's get back to that. I pray you have a beautiful, wonderful, marvelous day. I pray that this message has blessed you. And if it has, will you do me a favor? Will you like it, share it, comment on it, let me know. Let me know if you see yourself as a unicorn. Or let me know if you think this chick with the purple hair is a little crazy. And I'm okay with that too. I pray that you have a blessed day. And I hope to meet you one day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.